What's good, everybody? It's me. I'm back with another video. Today it's about people on the spectrum of narcissistic psychopathy. So you need to understand that these people are on a spectrum, and it doesn't matter whether they present themselves covert or overt. Also, you're not a licensed therapist, most likely just like me, and it's not our job to diagnose other people. It's our job to save ourselves in the first place, and I will give you very useful tools to understand what you're going through. So the purpose of this video is education, to make sense of what you have experienced, what probably has confused you and was very dangerous for your health or is still dangerous. And now let me just get into it and give you the necessary information. This video will not be very fancy, but I guarantee you the information will be very useful for you. So first you need to understand of when you have this waking up, this getting this knowledge and understanding the fundamental differences, okay? So the first information I give you is there is a fundamental difference in your psyche, in your inner world, and the inner world of some people. It is estimated that in the Western world we have 5 to 10% people falling on the dark triad, dark tetrad, dark psychology side. And these people are fundamentally different than you. Your problem might be that when you try to understand people, you try to understand them based on what you have learned, how you have been educated, all right? So you're a person that follows a moral and ethical code anyway, and you're an empathetic person that has the best interest for everybody at heart, at least for the people in your environment. Let me tell you that these people have none of this, okay? You might be a person that feels ashamed when you do something that is shameful. Let me tell you that these people twist things, and when they do something that is shameful, like destroying their own family and then moving on to the next family to destroy it, a normal person would be shameful and repentant and try to learn something out of it. These people will be proud of it, and they also will show different reactions based on who is the observer. So when you're in a closed situation, only them and you, and they are not afraid that this will be exposed, they will show you a completely different face than when representatives of the public life that are important or seem to be important for them are at the same location and observing them, which means they have no spine, they don't have a character core, they don't have a core identity. They present and shape their faces and personality depending on the situation 100%. So when you have long-term experience with these people, you will find out they don't have a spine, they don't have a backbone. It's always just, weaseling snakes like a snake in the grass and changing depending on the situation, okay? Now, one basic thing I want to tell you, first things first, safety. Do not engage with them if you could avoid it, okay? Avoid them if you can. Don't go in, like when you watch a video like this would be stupid if I tell you, go to them and test them. No, this is dangerous. You don't want to be in contact with them. I give you a metaphor for this, okay? Let's say you are a strong mentally strong and physically strong. You are a martial art master and you say nothing can happen to me. This person can do nothing to me. I tell you, this person has a knife, so to say, okay? And every responsible martial art master will teach his student, if somebody has a knife, try to avoid them, run away if you can. Only engage them if you have to. And this knife that the narcissistic psychopath has, by the way, is being unempathetic and completely self-absorbed, okay? The whole world of these people is within their own psyche, and there is no other human being out there in reality. This is why they don't participate in reality, but this is also why they are cold. Their heart has waxed cold. And what they want to do is they want to trade glass pearls for gold. So their heart is cold and hard as glass. This is why it also, it's a different story, but they can shatter easily. They are fractured because they are too hard, okay? They can't bend. They are too prideful, too rigid, okay? I'm the biggest, I have to win. And this can make them very breakable and vulnerable and insecure, but this leads too far. I want to focus on the topic, how you can discern it, how you can find it out. And they trade these glass pearls, which are fake emotions that they generate, okay, with gold. And the gold is your authentic, emotionally authentic reaction. And they don't care whether this gold that you give them is love or anger or hate. This is also what you have to learn. They don't care what kind of reaction you give them. Just giving them a reaction is all they want. And I have so many things in my mind I want to tell you, so let me try to get the sequence right. The thing is this. I told you already that they shape their face and their way they treat you depending on how many observers there are. So they shift their faces. And they don't have this identity core, all right? Then I want to tell you they have certain traits. And the most important thing to understand them is you are the key, okay? So if you go in with goodwill, this is gold. And when you go in with your gold, with your goodwill, how you would and how you should in a human interaction, they can abuse you. When you go in with goodwill and you want to understand them and you have good interest for them, you have goodwill for them, they will sway your mind, they will manipulate you, and they can hurt you, okay? So you need to learn to be non-reactive. So no matter whether they try to trigger your anger or your love or your sympathy, you just have to stay very unreacting, you know, say. Yeah, and now let me get to the traits they might have. And when you have goodwill, you will not even know, are these traits negative? Let me give you an example. They can be curious and playful, like a squirrel. Okay, animals are very good to understand human beings. Even the CIA does this, or the FBI. They say this is a lion mentality, this is a fox mentality also. Okay, so they can be curious and playful even as a squirrel. They can be indifferent in some way, like they don't care, like they are in their own, like they are in their own dream world, and it's hard to even reach out to them. So indifferent. And they can be opportunistic. And okay, they are opportunistic. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Let me tell you that this combination of traits is very dangerous, and I will tell you why. And these traits and the combination of these traits is very dangerous, because imagine that someone does not have your best interest at heart, so the person is indifferent about you. And the person is curious because it senses or smells opportunities. So it is curious to find them out. Plus, the person is not empathetic and does not follow a moral code or ethical code. And the person that I have to tell you, they are always hungry. They are never satisfied or just happy. Because if you was satisfied and happy, you have no need to be curious. Somebody will say A, and you will be like, all right, you don't have to say B. And then the person will be like, hey, why don't you take my bait? I said A, and I want you to push me to say B. This could be a bait they make. But you're not curious because you're not desperate. You're not looking for something. You have everything you need. You know your place in the world. This is healthy. But these people can be curious because they don't get to the information the normal empathetic way, or like being not desperate. Okay, so if it comes, it comes. If not, no. They're curious. They are looking. They are predatory parasites. Okay, so imagine they are curious, which means they look for opportunity. They will use an opportunity, and they are indifferent about everybody else. They are indifferent whether this short-term reward for them is harmful for their own children, for their family, for anyone else. They just care for themselves at the moment, and they are risk takers, which means in most cases they make short-term decisions, and on the long term it can be self-destructive what they do. And everything they do, of course, exposes them to people who know how to discern what they do. Now that I have told you why these traits that you might see very early, but you don't know whether they are good or bad, can be dangerous. And another thing that you will constantly have when engaging with them, by the way, is confusion. And it can also be you feel uncanny, so that your heart rate is increasing. And I will soon tell you why this is. And this is because of a simple truth. So to understand them, you need to go for the simple way and not try to make a complicated explanation. The simple truth why they confuse you is because they are insane. The simple truth why they confuse you is because they are not normal human beings. And the mistake that you might have done all the time is you will try to find a complicated explanation why these people act like they act, and you will use empathetic material to make this complicated explanation. So you try to explain human motives into the behavior of these people, while the simple explanation is these people are unempathetic, they don't care about you, they're indifferent about you, and they just try to get something. It's so simple and primitive, so to say. Okay? So always go for simple explanations. And this effect of feeling uncanny towards them, by the way, is called the uncanny valley effect. And there are these small glitches, these small confusions you will realize when you engage with them. And one other recommendation that I have for you is to not engage with them, of course. Try to get away, cut contact, it's dangerous, but analyze the experiences you had with these people. So my advice for you is go through your memories. Remember all the gaslightings, all the times you were confused, all the time you saw in their face a small glitch. And what I will tell you, glitching, and what I will tell you is that these people, I'd already told you about that they are twisting things. So when they do something shameful, they show pride, and this confuses you. But you just can't make sense of it if you not have knowledge about narcissistic psychopathy. And Another thing that they do is like they get an arousal, almost an erotic or sexual arousal or excitement when you, in some situations, when you show strong and rare real emotions, when you show like a big nugget of gold, like you start to cry for them, or you start to get angry about something, you fight for them, you show something very human reaction, and you rival about them, okay? So they try, by the way, there is a game, they try to coerce war on you. They want you to be at war. And what you can do when you have enough knowledge is you coerce peace on them, okay? By the way. So they try to get you to war, and when they triangulate you, which means they put you in a situation with a relationship with them, and they put you in a rivalry. These people are highly competitive cowards. So they compete about everything. They think in a very vertical hierarchy. And of course, they are on top. They want to be idealized, by the way. And when they try to trigger you to compete about each and everything. And when they see that you take this bait and you start rivalry, competition, they get excited about it, okay? And another thing that I already have mentioned is that they also have a very strange or different relationship to sexuality than you, probably, because these people use your body, and they don't care for your gender, by the way. They would take anything, they don't care. They just use your body to satisfy them, okay? Just on a side note. So it's not about healthy communication in both in sexual way, also in any conversation, and communication is a weapon for them, okay? And I told you that they twist everything, which leads to, when they say the truth, it feels off and you feel there's something strange about it. But when they lie, it seems very plausible. So it's so twisted and weird, and a simple explanation for this is because it is twisted and weird, and these people have to fake. They cannot naturally or effortlessly be, when you wake up, you are having this operational system in your brain and in your heart just effortlessly running. You can tune into the energy, the frequency of another person, and vibe with them and speak with them, make jokes and move on. These people have to prepare themselves for every situation. They have to think and strategize which mask will I wear, what will I show, what do I want. And when they want something from you, they will break it down in smaller parts if necessary, and make you just eat you piece by piece if necessary. So another basic thing you need to understand is they have main supplies, which are people who supply them with service, sex, safety, and it could be money, anything, okay? And these main supplies are the people they use to extract something, because these people are always they have codependency around them. They are not in healthy relationships, okay? So they have yes sayers around them and people who are in this codependency, and they might sometimes idealize their main supply, but what they want is the supply must reciprocate this idealization, because of course the psychopath is always on the top of the hierarchy and he wants to be idealized forever, worshipped, and needs to extract something, okay? And they have on the sides, they have side relationships, which means people who are in stock, and they can become another supply. When the first supply is for some reason waking up, there is something wrong, they can't extract anymore, they get desperate, and when they get desperate and they switch supplies, then they show their evil side, both to the supply they drop, when they discard someone, they will show their true face to this person and do this is when it gets dangerous for the person, coercive control. And again, they cannot mind just their own business. This is when it really gets destructive and dangerous for you, okay? And then they will go to another person and try to get a hook in and try to see, can I make this person my new supply, okay? And this is also why it's very hard for the main supply that has been dropped to make other people believe, what the true face of these people is, because to the other people they don't show this face. They just have a superficial relationship, and it is also as camouflage for them. So I feel like I have given you already now a lot of basic information, and the whole point of this video is try to go through your memories of this person and find the glitches, the manipulation, the gaslighting, whenever they confused you in some way, because of it could be an inappropriate reaction they have. Like I said, they don't have shame, but they show pride. You have a very human reaction, and they react with a kind of sudden excitement, as if a hyena has licked blood and get a blood rush, and you think, hey, why is this? And 1,000 other things that just confuse you, or real gaslightings, which means they make you doubt yourself and say the problem is on your side, or sometimes they just want to confuse you to switch the strategy when something doesn't work. Another thing that you need to understand about control is they colonize your mind. They try to take over your whole dopamine system, your releases. They try to destabilize you to make you a codependent. So you need to understand mind control, or control when they manipulate you and gaslight you and do this and that. It is not something that makes you say, okay, I give you all my money, okay, I give you my service, okay, you get my this and that. No. The first thing that they try to do is just destabilize, okay? It is enough for them to swing your mood, to make you from a very positive mindset to a negative mindset. They suggest negative self-talk, so to say. So they also project their negativity on you. So it is enough for them to confuse you or to make you feel bad or guilty, okay? They try to turn your goodness against you, okay? And they are all about this goal that you have, reaction. They want, in the end phase, in the beginning, they want you to reciprocate their idealization. So they idealize you, and they want you to idealize them like God. But when they feel like it doesn't work anymore, you're waking up, they will try to make you hate them, because these people are driven by anger, hate, and jealousy, malicious envy, okay? And they will project this on you, and they will try to make you reciprocate this. They try to get you behind bars. They try to make you act out. They try to, act in the same anger and hate that they have on you now. And this is why you have to be slow to anger and be forgiving, and again, having your emotions regulated. Okay? So I told you, first you learn about them, and then you learn about you. And you can regulate your emotions. You have ethical and moral code. And this is what you have to maintain and cultivate in order to deal with these people, because they want to make you like them, okay? So I feel like this message is already quite long, and I will have to make another video with strategies how to cope and deal with them. But let me finish this video now. My time is limited today. I hope I could help you, and see you in the next video.